Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about his individual performance from last week's game. I mean, he did throw 4 touchdown passes, so he's in sync with his receivers, and they're very confident. Did have 1 interception, and
they lost.
Yeah, so no matter how many touchdowns he threw, if it comes in a loss, he's not going to be satisfied.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. A first carry now. This is Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. So here come the Chargers as they get set for their first drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Taking a peek at the rushing numbers for Spiller in last week's game. 14 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Chargers have 1 and 3 here in the early part of the year. They've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run behind center with Spiller. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Spiller. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Isaiah Spiller, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Wilson. Keeps himself upright. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here we go with Williams. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Here's Wilson to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The drive starts with a give to Spiller. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now Wilson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
He'll get this one to Patrick. And some space here. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And
he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. A handoff to Spiller to begin the drive. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
The way the game has changed a little bit is that defensive goals have changed in a big way. Nowadays, it's not so much stopping certain yardage or whatever, but it's not giving up big, explosive plays. Anything over 10 yards, you're trying to hold teams below that, and they get one against you, as we just saw there. Well, that really hurts them. It puts them back on their heels a little bit and makes them a little bit less confident.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Herbert on 1st down now. And this is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19. 18 big yards on that one and a Charger first.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 9. Here's Herbert. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. And the Mile High Air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Braden Mann now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Mile High Air, and it's a good one. Davis now to return it. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in. He's just got to throw this one away.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, a give to Spiller. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Herbert with a connection to Allen for a Charger first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Hands this to Spiller to start things. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw here, Herbert. His throw incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. Straight ahead, it's Spiller. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Herbert off of play action. Out to his left. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Touchdown! Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 28-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Looking to throw. Wilson. That's going to be caught by Judy. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down line. And they were able to get him down and force the punt.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. He's going to field this at the 4. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Ready. Right back to Spiller on 2nd down.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Herbert off the bootleg. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver.
21.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Herbert.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true.
Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Hold the trips right. Hey, Ray.
Herbert back to the air. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Dancing to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen.
Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there. With his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time.
That's good for a Denver Broncos. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Again, Wilson. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force fourth down.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 36-yard line.
Now it's Herbert. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter. Up really big. That pass and incompletion. I don't think they needed the completion. But, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook. And they still want to run it efficiently.
That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Here's J.K. Scott now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Tuli Polontu. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Ready.
Again, Herbert. Flush to his right. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continued.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Broncos about set to go on offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board,
and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field.
And it's starting to look like that 3-game losing streak is going to be a thing of the past here. Coming up 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play action. It's Herbert. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though. 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Herbert throwing again. Forced out to his left. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They go play action with Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One last shot for Wilson. Same connection. Dulcich once again. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.